Okay, hello and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Maurice Carter. I'm the president of Sustainable Newton, and we're going to talk today about a very, very timely topic: energy efficiency, and basically some programs that you can take advantage of that will help us all use less energy. And as a sustainability organization, we encourage people. We talk often about the benefits of clean energy and for the environment, but also for your pocketbook, because solar and wind and those forms of energy are the cheapest forms of energy that are available. But here's the thing: the cheapest energy is the energy we never use. And so, going back to 2022, we've had federal programs in place to help homeowners use less energy. Some of those went away last year, but they didn't all go away. So, with the big push on data centers that we're seeing here locally and across the country, rates were already rising in Georgia because of Plant Vogtle, fuel costs, and other issues. But the data center build out, Georgia Power building 10 gigawatts of electricity capacity, means we're going to have some real risk going forward in terms of what happens with energy costs. So when we make our homes more efficient and use less energy, A, we're not buying something whose price is going up, but B, the more we can do this across our state, when we don't use that energy, then Georgia Power or our EMCs or our municipal electric companies, they don't have to build all this new capacity, and all of that's going to benefit us. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague and Sustainable Newton co-founder, Sarah Vince. And Sarah is going to sort of put some of our work in context with our guests today. She's going to introduce them, and we're going to give you some information I think you'll find very useful. Okay, thanks,
Thanks,
Sarah.
Maurice. Yeah, thanks, Maurice. I'm a co-founder of Sustainable Newton and also the chair of the Clean Energy and Efficiency Committee. And our committee works to educate, advise, and provide opportunities for households, businesses, and local governments to transition to solar energy, as well as make their homes and businesses more energy efficient, which brings us to our presentation today. Our panelists are John Scheafbauer, who is a seasoned construction professional with 33 years of hands-on experience in the trades. For the past 22 years, he has specialized in implementing energy efficiency solutions via boutique retrofits and new construction using spray foam insulation, air sealing, and weatherization. John holds applicator certifications from Green Guard Gold training for premium low emissions products. And then our second presenter is Cole Chappell, who has nearly 6 years of professional experience in the solar and renewable energy industry. He currently serves as co-chair of the Georgia Solar Energy Association, advocating for sustainable energy solutions across the state. Cole joined Energy Construction Services about a year ago and has led multiple projects in the Newton County area. In fact, that's how I first connected with Cole. He had done some work for one of our Sustainable Newton members, and that member was so pleased with the work that was done in her home that she said, "You have to meet this person." And we met, and I got to meet John. And then I later found out that Cole had worked with my sister up in Roswell, and she's been through the whole home energy rebate process, and it was a really successful project. So maybe, Cole, you can even incorporate some of that
Yeah,
into the information you provide.
sure.
But we'll let Cole and John get started. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Sarah. Thanks, Sarah and Maurice. We appreciate it. And um, thanks for the opportunity to, expose anyone that's, watching what's available out there, because a lot of people just don't really know. Um, and yeah, so I guess just to start, and thanks for the introduction, Sarah. And your sister was a really good example, and John and I were just talking about that being a good, case study, or use case, as an example of a teacher that, doesn't make all that much money, and really could use the break as far as a reduction in her electric bill, and she was had her project 98% covered. So that's a pretty substantial um, incentive, that's really helping her, save money each month. Um, but yeah, so just to start off, again, thanks for having us. John and I really just want to make it known that our main goal here is to, of course, help the essential workers, firefighters, teachers, utility meter maids, all those people that are really essential workers, and we need to retain them in our communities and help them save a bunch of money in the process. So obviously we're happy to do the work, implement these solutions for anybody that's interested. But that's the target of our audience today. Um, so Tony, do you want to?
Yeah, and we're real proud to be part of the project. One of the reasons that I personally went into the business was for the green aspect of just the thoughtfulness of where the market's going. And it is due to the efficiency of your home and the various ways that we can do that to with a price point. And a lot of times we have to kind of put a band-aid on a home with the old programs with people that can't afford it. And this, we're very excited about this system and very excited to have you expose us to get this for that retention, for just the good of all of our communities. And it's something to grab onto, and it's a partnership with you guys exposing the people that need it, and us going through, a good 2.5, 3 month from start to finish process to get that money, which is anywhere from $2,000 to $16,000 for that goal. So we're excited, and Cole's going to go through the details of it, and we're just very grateful to be here to try to get the money where the people need it.
Right. So, and just to start, I mean, and we were talking about it a little right before this call. 20% is what I'm reading is in Georgia, the state of Georgia, 20% is how much our electric bills have increased over the last 3 years. So, I mean, that's substantial, and it's way above the average nationwide. So like Maurice was just saying, the cheapest electricity is the electricity that you don't use, you don't need. So really it's a goal to be more sustainable and be more efficient. But so the programs that we're talking about today are the Here and the Her rebate program, and these are upfront rebates that at the point of sale are processed or are implemented, so you never pay that amount, right? So and really it starts with an energy audit. So that would be done by our sister company, Energy Consulting Services, with Shane Madison, and that's the start of the process. So, and like we were just saying, the timeline is right around 2.5 to 3 months from that audit to project completion. So just to kind of start with the names of the programs, that Her and Here. Her stands for the Home Efficiency Rebates, and this is for a whole home upgrade, like insulation, air sealing, HVAC improvements that cut your overall energy use.
Hey,
And then
Cole,
here's, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We can't see your presentation.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
So I was thinking,
Yeah, let me share my screen.
okay. So I don't know if that means you have to back up a bit, but thanks.
No, it should be okay. Okay, how about now? All good?
Get to presentation mode, slideshow. Up at the top of, or
Where
below,
is
a
it?
little below on the
Oh, here we
screen.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. Launch slideshow. Okay.
Okay.
All
There you
right.
go.
There we go. Okay. Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
So the here again is the home. Oh, where is it? All right.
Just one sec.
Huh? Yeah. Um, just not doing that. So again, these are federally funded programs that came down from the Inflation Reduction Act, but that are actually administered and distributed by the state of Georgia and the Environmental Finance Authority. So, and I was talking about the HERE program, which is the home electrification and appliance rebates for upgrading to energy efficient electric appliances and solutions like insulation. So the goals, of course, here are to lower utility bills, improve comfort in the home, and promote sustainability. They are available statewide through any utility to eligible homeowners and renters. And there's just a little link here at the bottom for the actual energy rebates and the outline of the programs. Which so eligibility requirements for her, and you'll notice that both programs they're kind of the rebates are based on the energy efficiency increase throughout the whole home and income. So and how that homeowner's income would relate to the AMI of the area. So AMI, it just stands for area median income. And the higher rebates for both programs are associated with homeowners with an AMI less than or equal to 80%, or they have an AMI less than or equal to 80% of the AMI for that area. So, and then, moderate income, which is where most of us would fall, would be 80 to 150% AMI. And those are typically associated with the lower rebates. So you're looking at anywhere from 2,000 to 16,000. That's the entire range of the rebate amounts for here and her. So this next little bullet point is a link to the actual eligibility calculator tool that homeowners can use. They can go to this calculator tool page, plug in I think it's just your income and the area that you're in and the number of people in the household, and it will tell you where you stand as far as AMI.
And I have put the link to the calculator tool in the chat if anybody's interested.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Maurice. So, and the minimum, I guess, with respect to the energy efficiency increase of the whole home is 20%. So, you're looking at a range from 20% to 34%. For the lower end of the rebates, and then anything above 35% would be then eligible for the larger rebates. And of course, a test in, test out would be required. The test in being the original audit, and then our guys would typically do the test out after the work is complete for the actual readings to ensure that rebate. And they are offered for single family homes. Most of what we do is single family, and renters can also apply for these rebates as long as they have the permission of the homeowner. Okay, so just a table kind of showing what I was just talking about with regards to the different sizing for the rebates. And this is the HER rebate. We're going from 2,000 up to 16,000, and just wanted to make sure to point out the difference in 50% of the rebate, or I'm sorry, of the project cost, up to 98% of the project cost. And so to achieve the 98%, the larger rebates from 10,000 to 16,000, you would have to be underneath 80% AMI, right? So less than 80% AMI for that area. And then anybody over 80% AMI would be 50% of the cost, or capped at 2,000 or 4,000, as opposed to 98% of the project cost. So really, it again, it goes back to the energy efficiency increase of the whole home after the project is complete, and AMI. And Sarah, I couldn't find an actual chart or any kind of data showing the AMI for each area. And I want to say, if what I saw is correct, it was saying that throughout Metro Atlanta, all the counties have the same standard four-person household AMI. But I could be wrong, but I think that's at least what my understanding. So, but if I do find a table that kind of shows the different AMI for each different county, then I will definitely add that to the presentation.
And that's what makes the calculator on the energy rebate page so helpful, is you don't have to know it.
Right.
Just type in your data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you'll just put in your county and it'll show you. And Atlanta is part of, I mean, Newton County is part of like the Atlanta, Sandy
Uh-huh.
Springs, Alpharetta, which is advantageous to us. I mean,
Oh yeah.
those areas have higher incomes typically. So don't automatically assume you don't qualify. Take a check.
Right.
Particularly those of us who are retired will find that we qualify for more than we might think we would. So,
Right.
In
Yeah.
fact, I
Abs-
was playing around with the calculator yesterday and found that a four-person household making 80,000 would be 80% of the AMI. So
okay.
a
Right at
four-person
80.
household making 150,000 would be the 150%.
Right.
And then it
Right.
varies depending on the number of people in your household. So that's why
Exactly.
the calculator is key.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've only had one customer that was over 150% AMI. So meaning they were not eligible for the rebates at that point. Which again, I think you got to make a good amount of money to be over 150% AMI. So any questions so far? Okay. And now, just to move on to the HERE rebate program, which is also income based. And this is, you cannot exceed 150% AMI. So single family or multifamily owners or renters, and the appliances, if that's a part of the rebate or upgrades, they must be purchased via Energy Star. No minimum energy savings required. So that, in a way, it differs from HER in that there's no minimum of 20% energy efficiency increase. So it is nice when you have a retrofit project that maybe they're fairly efficient, but it's not a huge or a really leaky house, a fairly clean audit report, they can still qualify for these HERE rebates, with, maybe 10-15% energy efficiency increase. And there is some, I guess, participation or engagement from the homeowners on both of these programs. So we did want to kind of stress that we would be your partner, throughout the process, and we'll be guiding you through every step, of course. But for the AMI, the income documents that they do require submission for, those are kind of the responsibilities of the homeowner, and it would be kind of, we're not privy to that information or to those documents. So we do encourage open communication throughout the process, and keeping up with the stages of the project, because the sooner the better, for all of this stuff. And so they will require ID, a residency, proof of residency, and income documents. And for both of these programs, you must use an approved contractor, which our sister company, Energy Consulting Services, and Shane Madison, and ourselves are approved contractors listed on that Georgia Power and GFA website. So just a little bit more about the HERE rebate. So it's up to $14,000 per household for lower moderate income homes, and just a few of the specific rebates for appliances, the heat pump, HVAC, excuse me, up to $8,000, the water heater up to $1,750, electric stove, cooktop, oven, or dryer up to $840, insulation, air sealing, and ventilation up to $1,600, electrical panel upgrade up to $4,000, wiring upgrades up to $2,500, and just obviously these benefits are immediate savings at the purchase, and often our homeowners that typically go with spray foam are going to see instant upgrade in comfort. I mean, later that evening, most people mention it. So how to apply the actual step-by-step process is, again, starts with the energy audit, right? So, I mean, yes, you're welcome to, check out where you stand as far as AMI through that calculator link. But the first step would be to get with Shane at Energy Consulting Services, our sister company, and get an audit scheduled. So, I mean, they're doing audits year round. They are busy, and so they typically are, generally speaking, booked out maybe 2 to 4 weeks out. But that's the first step, and then we would be privy to that information. We would be on the email that Shane sends out with the recommended scopes of work, with the energy audit report, and then we can provide that initial proposal and schedule a site visit to come out and provide more firm pricing with the measurements and the pics and videos we take at that site visit.
And I'd like to add real quick, that's the partnership that we're talking about with summertime rapidly approaching. And it's not just about grabbing the money, it's also making your house feel the way that you want it to, and the times that you need to. And the faster we get in on those high energy times of the year, we're the better off, and will help you with momentum. With all of us touching this, we preach that, and with getting numbers in, then we're able to get you more comfortable quicker, and we're able to do that well.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. So throughout the process, and again, we do like to have open communication with our homeowners and with Shane. So once there is a decision that's been made to move forward, I will get that finalized scope, that final scope, over to Shane, and he can then build out a model that will project how much energy efficiency we're going to increase in the home, and be able to tell the homeowner how much of a rebate they're going to be eligible for before we actually apply for the rebate itself. So there's a little bit of I guess a little bit of time to make a decision as to moving forward or not. So just gives a little bit more flexibility. And Shane is very, he's the rebate guru. He's very knowledgeable, and can really be very accurate as far as projecting how much the homeowner would be eligible for.
One thing with that is in that process, so the what that allows the homeowner to do is get what they want. Sometimes we go through the process to where it's not a priority for them to do something because of the comfort level or because of the money, but it's better for the comfort level, and we're able to feel our way through with Shane and really give the customer what they want, window shopping line item by line item.
Mm-hmm. Right.
With, of course, maximizing the program.
Right. So just because we didn't want to make this all about only here in her rebates. These are just some other related utility incentives for energy efficiency or energy efficient appliances that Georgia Power has available, as well as Snapping Shoals. And I think Sarah said that she's going to post on the website the flyer, because they have updated some of these rebates, as I'm pretty sure I read that Georgia Power has reduced their whole home rebate from $1,150 to $900, I believe. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've placed a link to the flyer in the chat. And yeah, I checked Georgia Power last night, and they have a whole home bundle. So it's
Yep.
$1,250 if you do a number of steps, and they've kind of thrown in an extra $200 rebate. But yes, the rebates for Georgia Power have changed very recently.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, and that's a pretty good one though, the bundle. So I mean, you could potentially be adding that, on top of the here or her rebate. And these are after the point of sale and after the work is completed, but still that's a pretty decent chunk that you're getting back. And some that you're never paying, obviously. But yeah, did you guys have any questions or anything like that as it starts to pour down here in John's shop?
If you have a question, raise your hand. I'll unmute you, or you can type it in the Q&A. So, I'll ask one while we wait.
Okay.
So what thing, if I'm the homeowner, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll, what things might I notice in my home that would say that I would have a reasonable opportunity to get an advantage out of this?
So you're saying like you would have enough room to improve by
Yeah, how do I know that maybe I should look into this?
I think if it's been a minute, or you don't know maybe how much insulation coverage you have up in the attic, then you most likely are insufficiently insulated. So I mean, we've had people go from maybe R19, and have spray foam in the attic, and they're increasing by a minimum of 20%. So,
and the beauty is with this program, really the starting point for that is the measurability of your individual home through an audit. That audit, and when the programs and the incentives really give you your money back with that audit, that gives you the peace of mind through the measurability of the programs through that audit with pressurizing your house. But with our partnerships, you have the added on the site knowledge to where sometimes some people don't want to do the audits and they just want the comfort level now. And we know through feeling these and the measurability of the numbers that we can help you out. So if somebody really needs to know and maximize the programs that we're outlining today, the audit is the starting point, and it really gives a clear path in an itemized way for you to achieve your goals individually in the house.
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of the audit process. I used energy consulting services, and I just did it because as chair of the committee, I thought, well, I need to, have an energy audit. And I just learned so much about my home that you cannot tell by just looking at your home, by just living in your home. For years, we have a sliding glass door at the back at our kitchen. And for years, I thought there was air coming in at the bottom of that because in the winter, I'd feel a breeze. And it turns out it was actually coming through our kitchen cabinets, that there wasn't insulation.
Big area.
Yeah. And so we wouldn't have known that.
And we're able to translate from that audit, and our guys, that's like the low-hanging fruit of finding the problems, and we're seasoned with it. And but that's great that you had that experience.
Yeah. And that's a good example of something that I never would have thought, and that John mentioned one day, and I was like, oh wow, because of his experience in the trades and specifically spray foam. I mean, he knew that was going to be, and it almost always is an issue with retrofits or new construction. But it's something that most people would never have guessed. But yeah, that's awesome, Sarah. How did you hear about Shane initially?
Well, our committee, when the Inflation Reduction came out and we were learning about that, one of the things we kept seeing is start with an energy audit, So we started researching companies that provided energy audits in our area and actually calling them. And I talked to Shane, and he was actually the most informative person that we spoke with the best price at that time.
Right.
And then I went ahead and did the energy audit. And I was so impressed with, the two reports that you get. I think best options or best steps, and then kind of the good enough. And that
recommended scope, the good enough. I like that.
I can't remember the exact names, but that was really helpful to see what if you want to go all the way, which we ended up doing, or just kind of what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. And then my sister also used Shane, because I recommended, and she called him back several times through the whole process. Even, Cole, probably when you were working, but that would be kind of her point of contact. And he was just a good sounding board for her.
Right. He is. He I've heard that actually from several customers of ours that, he was the only one potentially that answered the phone and had a very good conversation. He is very knowledgeable and very approachable, so yeah, it's helpful to have someone like Shane. And of course, we're, very approachable as well. We like to inform people and help people. I mean, that's the bottom line.
And Shane, he's thorough in with establishing that thoroughness. We carry that through the job. So we're with his reports, we're really privy even before we get in your house, and that does allow us to do window shopping and keep the process moving forward with our first proposal based off of the audit. And then we're able to get it rolling with people, and it really creates a clairvoyance with kind of dipping in with Shane and us. And then we're able to get into specifics of the job and really knock it out for the customer.
Mhm.
I do want to say one thing. If people go to the GIFA tool where you're looking for a contractor and you type in Newton County, um, energy consulting services, energy construction services won't come up
Huh.
for our area. However, that doesn't mean you can't use them. So you can contact them outside of that search tool, or you can find them if you type in Atlanta, they would come
Uh-huh.
up. But different
Thank
contracts
you. Thank
come
you for
up
letting us
in
know
Newton
that.
County.
And we'd like to fix that. We'd like to get on there. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Who
Yeah,
comes
it's
up?
a lot of the searches I think are not, just because a company's not listed doesn't mean they don't work in the area. So it's
Right.
definitely worth contacting them. But
So
Yeah.
call us up. We like to work.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Back
I
to
would
work.
I would just like to point out that, first of all, that Georgia is one of only two states in the Southeast, North Carolina being the other one, that got these programs implemented before the clock ran out. And so it's really, we're very fortunate. A
Yeah.
lot of times things don't go the way we might like with energy in our state, but on this one it did.
Yeah,
So I
thank
think
God.
last time I checked, I put the link in the chat for the state's dashboard tracking these things. It talks a lot about what kinds of projects and how much people saved and how many households, what the average is per household. But
Mhm.
I think only like 17.8 million of the funding has been used so far, with like 155 million to go. So
Wow.
definitely get in there and use it while you can, because not everybody has this opportunity. So
Absolutely. And what I always say is, I mean, I take advantage of when the government's handing out money, I would recommend taking it because it's usually the other way around. So yeah, absolutely.
all right, any other questions? Well, I definitely want to thank you guys for putting this together and sharing the information. I know Sarah has been our lead on this for quite a while in terms of, understanding and trying to help share information with people about this, but you've made it, I think, simple in a way that hopefully the takeaway people have is that, there's an opportunity here. And it may be a little daunting at first, but it's not as hard to get started as you might think. So hopefully between the information Cole and John have shared and the stuff we put in the chat, you'll be inspired to give it a try. And we're gonna put this recording out. So if you have friends and family that you think can take advantage of that, watch for the recording and pass the information along.
Absolutely.
And we love to come to firehouses and talk to the guys. And there is a demographic of our essential workers that really can benefit from this, to where we'd like to help everybody process this and make their home more comfortable.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
great. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks to everybody who joined today, and stay dry.